Hello, and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And we're at minute 48. This minute begins with Zander saying to, and it ends with Zander motioning that it wasn't him, it was Carmen. So yeah, we're coming into this minute at a tense moment. We actually find out that it is to that Zander is actually saying. So you were right in the last episode of saying, oh, what is it? Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 1? Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, and also about the last minute, I want to go over that I don't mean like any conspiracy talk about Carmen working side by side with the bugs. Just that if she didn't change the path that they were on, they probably wouldn't have come across this asteroid.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to come to terms with what you've been saying as well, too, on that. I did watch Men in Black the other night, and she kind of looks like the bug in an Egger suit.
Yeah, now I'm flip-flopping.
Yeah, there we go.
With the conspiracy.
I also do want to do a quick recap or a quick edit on my end as well, too. In the last episode, I did say that, hey, if there's a higher gravity, you're going to get bigger, kind of like the aliens on Pandora. That's actually wrong. Evolution has kind of told us that if gravity is heavier or you're being pulled down heavier, you're more shorter. So because they were longer and taller and everything on Pandora, the gravity's probably a lot lighter.
See, that still makes it even weirder because the humans are still affected the same way.
Yeah, well, it may be only a little bit longer. Well, what I mean is,
no, I'm like they aren't jumping further or anything like that because their muscles are actually used to a higher gravity.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the Pandorians, or whatever the hell their name is going to be, have evolved on that planet. Humans only came there maybe 5-10 years.
Yeah.
So
they won't be evolved, but they should have stronger leg muscles than the Pandorans.
It still would take some time. The people who are up in the space station come down and they have longer limbs and everything, but only by centimeters. So it takes a really, really, really long time for that kind of stuff to affect them.
No, I mean when the astronauts landed on the moon, they had to monitor how much they would jump or else they would fall off or they completely fly off the surface.
Yeah.
So if they went to Pandora, their leap should be technically a little bit higher as a human versus a Pandoran.
Well, there was also those sections of floating or floating rocks and everything too. So it may be just there's different parts of Pandora that are in flux, like gravitational flux as well too. But this is not the Avatar minute. And
okay.
I just wanted to go over that. If they're taller, the gravity should be lighter. I completely got that wrong.
All right.
But yeah, we're at this minute right now. Xander is counting down to 2 and 1. Carmen flips the yoke and just pushes it up, or pulls it up and pulls down, basically. And he says fire. And you know what I noticed when the jets actually fire on the back of the Roger Young?
What's that?
There's a really old, and I noticed this as well too, there's this really crappy looking lens flare effect that was really prevalent in After Effects in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, that solar flare, that's circular.
Yeah, because I wasn't in video production in high school during, I want to say 2002, 2003. And that lens flare was very prominent in a lot of videos.
Yeah, well, it was a quick filter on Photoshop. So once I forget what it was that their video software was. It had all of the same effects on there, so you can just layer it on there.
Gotcha. So, okay, this thing was probably done in After Effects then.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, so, again, they're boosting now. They're going pretty fast, trying to avoid the asteroid as well, too. But again, as we said last minute, they should have boosted a long time ago to maneuver more under there a lot easier. And we see a problem with the timing that they boosted, because just like the Titanic, they didn't turn fast enough, they didn't do anything fast enough. The ship gets hit.
Yeah, because they didn't realize there's more mass at the bottom of the asteroid, just like there's more mass at the bottom of an iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
So as she's maneuvering down below, there's all of a sudden that crest. Well, I'm not sure if it would be called a crest, but I'm calling it that like a wave would be. Okay, so that crest of the rock starts to peak over the bottom of the asteroid, and that's the part that actually starts to catch the ship. And yeah, like you said, if they started this maneuver a little bit earlier, they probably wouldn't have hit this piece there, because later on we find out how important that piece of the ship is.
Yeah. And honestly, them going down or up is the best solution for them maneuvering as well too, because going left to right is it would take more thrust and more time to avoid it, either left or right. Up and down is the best way to do it. But again, they should have gone a lot faster. But yeah, go ahead.
They also should have gone up instead of down, because up you would have known what you were going up against, whereas down something was coming at you.
I like that wordplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see why, again, they should have boosted a little sooner. The Roger Young gets hit, not once, but twice or three times, but about 5 times, actually. It scrapes along what looks like a communications, tower kind of thing.
Yeah. One thing that was different about the script about the asteroid is actually a good thing that maybe they noticed, or maybe it was just easier to do this. The script actually says that they're kind of caught up in a wake of ice and rock that's behind this asteroid, which makes it a comet instead of an asteroid.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, because it's an asteroid, it should have like metal and rock, like hard dense material on it. Whereas a comet would be technically space dust and ice and all that stuff. It would have broken up a lot easier.
This one could have broken up a little more too, like if it is a heavy gravity well, has its own gravity and everything, it could have small little satellites around it, or like a dust cloud or something like that as well too. But yeah, an ice or rock or something like that, ice rock and everything, that's mostly a comet. So in the script, it probably was a comet.
No, in the script it says it's an asteroid.
Well, they got it wrong. Good job.
Yeah. So the script describes a comet, but they call it an asteroid.
Well,
so I don't know if somebody picked up on it, or just a potato was a little bit easier to make.
Get me Ed Newmeyer. I need him on the phone right now. Ed, you got that wrong. I don't know if you wrote that first draft. You got that wrong, dude. Come on. You didn't want to do Starship Troopers 4 with me? Sure, I'll be your science consultant. I have no clue what I'm talking about, but it'll sound a lot better.
So in a movie, it shows that the communication tower gets knocked off and they clear the asteroid. But in the script, it was a little bit darker, a little bit more suspenseful of this entire scene. So one of the things that happens is the asteroid grazes the ship in such a way that it kind of sends it spinning.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's spinning a little bit on its side. So like the skimmers or the ships that are inside start to shift around inside the bay. And the tower that gets ripped off, there was actually supposed to be a scene of the crewmen getting sucked out into the depths of space, and when they're trying to close the automatic doors, you see some people that the door closes right in front of them, and it's like they just saw their fate right there, that they're dead.
Brutal.
Yeah. So obviously they cut that out, probably because this scene probably would have cost a lot more money just to do that scene.
What I'm thinking, a lot of movies do this as well too, especially if they have scenes kind of like repetitive scenes like that. So if that's the case, then again, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but I mean, again, 20-year-old movie. The last battle of the Roger Young is kind of the same thing. They could have reused a few scenes from that really quick, like a quick cut or something like that. Some movies do that like multiple times. Like you'll see multiple people get like damaged or sucked out or something, but
or establishing shots of the room.
Yeah. I mean, where are we again? San Francisco? Oh, okay.
No, we're in San Francisco.
Are we in San Francisco?
No, we're kind of north of the Northern California area.
Okay.
So it's around the San Francisco area.
Okay. Hi, Dougie. We need
Oh,
to
hi,
see.
Mar.
We need to see the Disaster Artist. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
looks
know.
so good.
I actually wanted to ask if you wanted to go see that because I really want to see that. I did not hit her. It's not true. Oh, hi, Mar.
Oh, he did it! He did the line.
Yeah, that part was. If anybody hasn't seen a trailer, that trailer is hilarious of him trying to get that line right.
Yeah, if you
Oh
guys
my
haven't,
God.
if you guys haven't seen The Room either, it is a horrible movie. But it is one of those movies that it was so horrible that it became a dark comedy. And the guy who made it, Tommy Wiseau, tried to run with it and say, "Oh yeah, it's a dark comedy, and I intended to be like this," but no, it was a horrible movie that he thought was going to be a great, great movie.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, I want to see that movie so bad.
It looks so
The
good.
Disaster Artist.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think what's his face? Who's playing Tommy?
I forget the actor's name, but he has also come to terms with how bad that movie is.
Franco. James Franco.
Oh, I thought the actor.
No. James Franco is playing Tommy, and I mean, it looks just like him. He talks just like him. The accent is perfect. It's gonna be a great movie.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Greg Sestero.
Oh no.
The actor who plays Mark, not the actor who's playing. He's not the dude that's playing the dude who's playing the other dude.
I don't get out of character until I do the DVD commentary.
So, but yeah, that movie just looks so funny. I really want to see that.
Yeah,
it looks like they did their homework on that movie.
They really did. But getting back to our minute, the scene changes a little bit. We see Zander and Carmen looking at each other. Carmen kind of breathes a heavy sigh of relief. But that's after they close the compartment door after the communications tower was just ripped off. And we see an outer shot of the Roger Young trailing dust and debris.
Yeah.
After that, we get another little scene change of the captain and like pretty much everyone on the ship. I don't want to say everyone on the ship. The whole entire bridge crew basically runs in and says, "Oh, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. Like, what did you do, Carmen? What did you do?"
Yeah. Like, of course this happens with the newbie.
Right? Gosh, and we're making out again. I mean, she has like half her pants off. Goodness gracious me.
Yeah. Her hand is still on that guy's like inner thigh. And he's still got his fingers swirling around her boob.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's still
as established in the script at the last minute, that was supposed to be the intention of what was going on.
That still grosses me out.
Yeah. Anyways, so
sorry, that was my phone. Go ahead and do that again.
No, we're keeping that one in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so all the flight officers come in. The lady says, report. Where'd it come from? And Zander says it comes from the air, like kind of the trajectory of the arachnid quarantine zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit hard to establish considering the asteroid was supposedly going at light speed.
At light speed that was in the script though, wasn't it? It wasn't said in the movie, was it? Because it doesn't look like it was going at light speed in the movie.
No, that was the thing that I mentioned. It's like, why didn't they notice it? But even if it wasn't going at light speed, that thing should have been noticeable even at light speed.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, yeah, in the movie they say high speed.
High speed, yeah.
So in the movie, it's Zander that makes a call to close the compartment, whereas the script, it was automatic, which would make more sense that it was automatic the minute an area gets in trouble to close it.
Mm-hmm.
Than having to close it manually.
Well, I mean, then you got some issues with like people getting caught and everything, kind of like in the script version of people like getting caught between doors and whatnot. But yeah, I get that it should be automatic, and as soon as there's a decompression, again, I'm going back to Star Trek. As soon as there's decompression, there's a force field that gets put up. Easy as that.
I know, but not. The movie is 20 years old, so sometimes they're going to be spoiled. But there is an automatic door later on. And someone does get caught.
Yes, they do.
So it either does or doesn't happen. So as I'm kind of going through with like those little dust particles that are flying off the tower that gets broken off, like slowly going through it, it looks like they tried to make certain like it looks like either people or shrapnel from the broken piece to make it look like someone is caught in space.
Yeah.
But it's just a little bit hard to tell because the things that look like people are a little bit too big.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So it's hard to tell. Is that a person or is that debris?
I really can't tell. I mean, even with we have the 1080p version of this movie, it's still kind of hard to tell if it's debris or computer generated person or what have you.
Yeah. So, but it looks like a person, but it's entirely too big for someone to occupy this ship.
Yeah, it may be a person-shaped piece of debris.
Maybe.
There we go.
All right, so Deledier, she came onto the bridge. She somehow pushes a button that calls off the entire emergency lights, which I think that's a little early to call off an emergency status. Like you want to make sure everything is calmed down before it happens.
It may be still on status. See, she just turned off the mood lighting for Zander and Carmen.
I guess. But here's something I noticed about this minute that we had a question about before.
Okay.
So Deledier, she comes in on the left-hand side of the movie. So there's a door that opens there. On the right-hand side, there's another set of doors that everybody comes through.
Yes.
Why didn't Carmen go through that side?
Because
remember she came in through that side, walked across. Why didn't? Remember we were wondering like why would everybody have to go behind her? No, there was another set of doors. So why didn't she go there? It's just Carmen breaking more protocol, more rules. Yeah, there was another set of doors,
and the real reason is because they didn't want to reveal who is in the number 2 chair in front of the captain. But yeah, it's because
you can easily do that from the other side where he like peeks over like, eh?
I guess.
Like I'm over here where I was hidden by this monitor.
Ooh, can't see me.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the revealing shot. There he is. Because otherwise she's walking behind him. I mean, I know it's supposed to hide it from us that we don't know who's in that chair. But if you're going to be in that area, like she walks in on that side, she must have like, if you're in a team, you're going to want to look at whoever it is that you're on a team with instead of like waiting for the big reveal, because there shouldn't be a big reveal to you. You're part of a team. You want to find out who's on there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I try to make my life or the way I live my life kind of like a movie, so I won't look at explosions and I won't look at people doing my testing either. I'll just be like, oh, who is it? It's my best friend. How you doing?
Yeah, no, you don't try and hide yourself behind a pole and then they're like, and then you'll be working with a partner. Okay. And you look over. What a reveal.
The only time I do hide myself behind a pole is like, what's his face in True Lies when he gets shot at.
No, Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm talking about. What's his face?
Yeah.
I forgot his name already. Tom Arnold.
Yeah, Tom Arnold.
He gets shot at. He's like a hefty guy, but he hides behind a pole. And none of them hit him. He checks himself out. He's like, oh, checks his, and then he checks out his junk. He's like, oh, thank goodness. Kisses the pole, and then runs off.
That movie's so good.
It really is. I need to rewatch that.
I don't think that movie's underrated because everybody watches it, loves that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another thing like that I just want to point out. Like, obviously, these are things that you don't. That you start to notice when you only analyze 1 minute at a time. But I just like, it's just noticing like there's 2 doors. Why didn't she go through the other door? She knew she was the number 2 because she's the new one, that means the chairs are always going to be set up. New people here, more experienced person sits here.
Yeah. Again, I'm thinking it's because, well, on the captain's side, she has everything on her left-hand side because apparently she may be left-handed.
I don't know, but
That's
it
the only
just
reason I can think.
yeah, it doesn't make sense why she didn't go through that door anyways and walk behind that area where, um, because it's spinning, she could have gotten an article of clothing stuck, or if it's not that strong, she could have messed something up seriously.
Yeah, John and I actually did go into that. They were like, why don't you just put up some chicken wire next to it or something like that?
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're gonna have some guy come in there and fall in.
yeah, and it's absolutely true. Why isn't it covered up? But also maybe it's because no one should be walking back there.
No one should be walking back there.
Yeah.
But the captain does ask, hey, get on the horn, tell them that they got a rogue asteroid coming their way, and a young communications officer, we don't know her name, but she says communications are down, ma'am. On the little screen that's in front of her, we actually see a screen with some static on there as well too. Snow.
Yeah.
You guys, if you guys are young enough, you don't know what snow is at all. Digital formats do not produce snow anymore. The only time you ever saw snow was on like analog or anything with like a back in the day, when you had rabbit ears, it was on a analog receiver as well too. You never got a blank screen like you do on normal on any device nowadays. You get just a blank screen that says no video, no audio, whatever.
Well, you can still purchase rabbit ears nowadays, and some people may still use it. But if it's digital,
It's a digital
like
format,
HD,
yeah.
it won't have it.
No,
I never noticed that.
no, they won't have it anymore. It just won't show up. Like most TVs nowadays, even if like on my TV, I had a over the air signal, and on anything that came up, if it didn't have a channel, it wouldn't show snow at all. It would just show no video available, and then it'd like kind of pop in, pixelate a little bit because it's all digital, but then go back out again if it wasn't getting a good signal.
I
So,
never noticed that.
yeah, no snow anymore. This is a bygone thing.
Wow.
Like, I mean, so if you bought an old TV, try to turn it to channel 3 right now, you could probably get snow because nothing comes up. And the antenna on the TV probably would still try to find something, but because there's nothing, it would get this.
Is it because on the old like TVs, it's looking for something for the signal of channel 3, and that's why the old ones got the snow, is because it had nothing coming in on channel 3.
Mhm.
And then nowadays it knows what the signal is because it's in HD or digital format.
Yes, so snow is actually I don't know if you know this, but snow is actually the background noise of the universe. Whenever you had snow on your TV, that's basically the radiation coming in from the sun, radiation coming in from stars all around us, and also little, I want to say, what is it called? After effects of the Big Bang as well too. So all this stuff is just interference messing up with your TV signal. So it's still around and you can still get it, but it's just the absence of an actual signal.
Huh. That's actually really kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I really like how they did this because yes, they are getting signal, but it's noise basically. It's just snow. So like
Yeah.
whenever if you're like on a if you're in SETI or something like that, which is the people who listen for any kind of extraterrestrial signals from extraterrestrials. But yeah, they'll probably get a lot of snow or a lot of stuff that is incomprehensible, just like snow, because nothing comes through unless it's a wow signal or something.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a
Okay.
pretty neat thing. But yeah, on this screen it says that there's no carrier. The computer itself is trying to go through different frequencies, trying to get something, but nothing is coming up because they don't have a tower anymore. It's gone.
All right.
Captain kind of looks a little upset about this. She asked about damage control, and the person who is doing damage control actually tells her that the hull is compromised and they're lucky to be alive.
Yeah, but in a movie, it doesn't look like the hull's damaged that much. But that is the exact script that they used when the one that I described where the ship was kind of tossed around a little bit. Diamond hard particles pounded the front screen, kind of damaging the glass on there. So the way it's described in the script, they are lucky to be alive. But the one that's done in the movie, there's not a lot of damage to the ship.
Well, think about it this way: a whole entire section of the ship came off. I think it's compromised.
Yeah, but it's not we're lucky to be alive.
Situation. Okay, I suppose. I mean, I'm maybe thinking about this like a Black Knight, like, oh, it's just an arm. Whatever, it's fine.
Well, yeah, no, it's like the Dark Knight losing only like the wrist up.
Okay.
In comparison to the ship, I mean, yeah, people were lost and everything, but in the size of like the ship versus the control tower or the communication tower, they didn't lose as much.
You're starting to sound like a federal general now. Like, oh, you don't lose that many. Just like, how many people? What, 15?
I'm in it.
Whatever.
I'm in it for the species, boys and girls.
Okay. All right, Doogie. Go ahead.
So yeah, they say that they're lucky to be alive. What's the captain's next line?
Captain says
saying
that
luck had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, we have a hell of a flight team.
Yeah. All right. So the one thing about the script that they changed is that wasn't in the script.
Okay.
So what is on here is a little bit darker, which actually would have made it kind of cool, but you would need the entire scene that they cut out.
Yeah.
What she notices after it says we're lucky to be alive is Carmen is staring at a monitor, and there's a dead trooper who's trailing in the wreckage of the flight deck.
Cool.
Yeah. And then she's like stunned, like this is the first dead person she's seen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that they took out. So it should have been a little bit darker on that note.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, it seems like they took what they were going to do with the last battle and throw it into this section, but I guess they didn't want to do it that way.
Yeah. So she says we have a hell of a flight team. She looks at Zander. Zander kind of does a, like, not me. I'm going to point over to this person, and that's where the minute ends.
Yep.
It ends right at 47:59, and 48 is the reveal of who he's pointing at.
Yeah, we do get a little bit of I'm actually pausing it at 47:59. We get a little trajectory analysis on Xander's screen. It says, current position Roger Young, galactic. But then it does have an XYZ coordinate on it as well too. So we actually do get a nice little XYZ coordination on there finally.
One thing I noticed on the screen, it says calculating backtrace.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't figured out where the asteroid came from yet.
Yeah.
It's calculating it.
Movie magic, man.
Space wizard?
Space wizard.
Or he was in cahoots. He knew it was coming from the arachnid planet.
He did get up into the ranks really quickly.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, it came from there.
Came from the bugs.
Yeah, maybe he's one of the cyclones that lived in Mars.
Ooh.
Yes, he could fit the description.
Again, Egger's suit looking like, he has the laugh lines. He has those wrinkles. He may not fit into that suit very well.
Yeah, he's a little bit smaller than the suit is, so that's why it wrinkles up where the laugh lines are. And he's like, no human, I am 18, just like 18 human years, just like you. I eat human food and I play human sports.
Why don't we use our human mandibles to engage kissing and love making? Do you have a cloaca? Can I see it?
It's funny how we joke about these things, because on my planet we joke about these things. I mean, I'm from Earth.
Just like my human mother, who laid me in a clutch.
Xander, he's like, he says whatever his real name is, like let's call him Zyklon 44. Just
sure.
The other bad thing, Zyklon 44, you saved a day with that quip.
Oh, goodness.
And that's how he got the name Xander.
There we go. Yeah, who names their
He's
kids
a similar
Xander?
sounding word. He's evil.
Oh, boy. But that's where we're going to end it, guys. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about this minute.
No, the next minute, it doesn't last long, but definitely that first second just boils me at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that the next minute, though.
I wish that next second ended at the end of this minute so I can be done with it, but the next minute just starts with that 1 second. Ugh.
I can tell you right now, it is going to be the last of Carmen that we're going to see just for a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Until they get cut, which I definitely want to talk about. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, guys. Well, where can they find you, Johann?
Okay, you guys can find me on Twitch and Instagram at j-d26, and my Twitter is OMG, it's Johann.
And you guys can follow me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere you can find me on the internet. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, LinkedIn, why not? I'm still doing that.
No, that's not going to happen.
LinkedIn, find me on LinkedIn. Give me a job. I can be your podcaster. But you can follow the show at The Roughneck Min, MIN, on Twitter. You can also follow the show on our websites for any past episodes or show notes at theroughneckminute.podbean.com. Or you can continue the conversation on our Facebook group, The Roughneck Minute Billet, Billet, and we can talk about, crazy people in flesh suits and other conspiracy theories and being laid in a clutch.
Yep.
We're also on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, what have you. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We would really like some reviews. That stuff is like crack to me. I need a hit. Give me a hit. Come on. I'll suck you.
Medic!
Jesus Christ. Did you have to add a medic in right now?
I gotta add a medic in right now. I'll suck you.
Medic!
All right, guys. Well, I've been your host, Matthew.
And I've been your other host, Johann.
We'll see you on the Balance Troopers.